something that I find interesting also in our society. Like when young people are young, they would tell you, stay away from men, stay away from men. They will get you pregnant. And then when you get older, they are saying, when are you
Where
bringing
is
a
your
man
man?
home?
Where is your
When
man?
I,
Oh my
you do
God, I'm
not
going
even,
to
they
get
didn't
you.
even teach you the skills to even communicate with the opposite
With
gender
men.
because they are telling you to stay away.
Exactly.
So
Hi guys, welcome back to SSRG and your view. And today's topic is the one you don't want to leave here because it is really interesting and I love it. So let's dig right into it. We're talking about the pressure of getting married. And most especially for people that are in their 30s and like society is like you're 30, you are not married. So without me talking too much, let's get the opinion of these people that are here. So guys, what do you think? Like, do you think marriage should be seen how the society is seeing it and people should be pressured to get married because you are 30, you should marry. You are 25, you should marry, or you are old enough, you should get a wife for you. What do you think? Let's have it.
I
Let's
can
have it.
jump right in.
Let's
There's no
have it.
time. So I think first people should understand the origin of marriage and the whole concept of marriage. And of course, Christians would always say it started in the Garden of Eden and blah, blah, blah. Adam and Eve didn't even get married. They just procreated.
They just met. They just
They
met
just
and did
procreated.
their thing.
But I also do not believe the whole story, but I don't want to go into that. So the
Them
point
just
I'm trying
knack.
to make is that the current ideology surrounding marriage, like monogamy and all whatnot, is something that the Europeans designed and pushed to a lot of people, right? And the main reason was that at some point, when capitalism became a whole thing and people would own property, they wanted to make sure that the people who are inheriting their property were their children. So they didn't want a situation where someone who they didn't sire would inherit their property. So and then like in our own society, pre-colonial time, our marriage concepts were more fluid. There were situations where women married women, uh, men married more than one wife, women married more, like my grandmother married more than one husband. So,
Ooh,
it's a thing that was happening at the
interesting.
time. So
Mhm,
the whole concept of marriage wasn't as it is right now.
mhm.
But now we are currently living in a world where the media, social media, when I say the media, I mean mainstream media, social media,
Everything.
movies, and everything push this notion of marriage as if it is the be all and do all. So if you are a person who is of married age to get married, like you're in your late 20s or you're in your early 30s and you're not married, everyone is looking at you as if you have failed. Even if you have the highest level of education, you've invented something that would
And if
cure
you are
cancer.
married, you have achieved it all.
Exactly. You would hear
Ah,
people talking about marriage as if it is the be all. And I don't want to talk about the implications yet because I'm hoping that you are going to ask
Yes,
us
of
what
course,
are
we'll
the
come to that.
implications of this. But I think we live in that space where, like, I would hear my mother talk about people who are not married as if they are useless in their lives. So
Yeah.
it is a problematic thing.
I need other guys to speak about this.
says there's a story I'm trying to process, but the story is not coming. But then I
Yeah.
think it's problematic in that I've seen in my community, for example, where someone passes on, an adult passes on, and you realize they don't want to give that person befitting burial just because the person is not married. So they say,
Mhm.
Seriously?
yeah. So
It happens.
they asked questions like, what did he achieve? What did he leave us with? Like
Mhm.
this person may have created or done so much things that are worthy of
Mm-hmm.
remembrance, but the mere
Mm-hmm.
fact that they don't have a partner, wife or husband or whatever, and children, they become non-entities. So it's
Yeah.
I mean, nobody even asks whether these people are capable of doing that. They just want you to do it.
Whether
That's
you
the
are rich
thing.
or poor, you have money to take care of a family. They want
Or
you to. They don't
psychologically
care.
ready to raise a child or like be
Yeah.
somebody else's partner.
no one
For
can.
me, the worst of it all is that the whole marriage thing is even gendered. It's even worse for women than it is
True.
for
What's
men.
for us?
This is my greatest concern because it seems like a woman's relevance is tied to a man, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yes,
No
it
matter
does.
what a woman does,
And tied to the unfortunate age thing where people begin to get rushed when they reach
Yeah.
30s, you begin to hear all
exactly.
Yeah.
manner of things.
Yeah,
You
speaking
could you
from
could see
experience, speaking
you
from
could see a
experience, because
woman you could see a woman being very productive, being very contributive to the society, but until she gets married, she is not complete. Who says that?
I
In
mean,
Igbo language, I say na mma nwaanyị bụ di, that a woman's beauty is the husband. Who says that? Some women get married to some men and they live to regret it all their lives.
True.
So
forever, like,
who says a
if
woman is not important until she gets married? I don't like this idea.
yeah, it's like speaking from experience, like as a woman, you keep celebrating, let's say your birthdays, and
Mm.
everybody wishes you birthday and prays for you normally. But when you reach 25, the prayer changes. You will enter your husband's house. The man
Amen.
will find you. Why
Amen.
all of a sudden? Why did the prayer change?
Shiloh.
Shiloh.
Why?
No, you
You
are
have
going
to
to
go to
Shiloh.
Shiloh to find a husband.
You are going to Shiloh to
I
find a
mean,
husband.
But
it's really bad.
It's
the
It's
so
really
risky
bad.
bad.
part.
It's really so bad. And
I feel like our
for
conversation is already.
example, for us like women, like when Rita Dominic got married, when Mercy Chinwo got married, and of recently, Dang Ife, she got married in 46, and the comments were very painful. While I celebrate her because she found the love of her life, like they are really a good, amazing couple. Some people were still commenting a way that, oh, finally, she have done the greatest because she ended up getting married. And I'm like, oh, if she did not marry, she has a multi-million business. She's
Yeah.
managing a community. And
Yeah.
you people think because she just found love, like that's when, and
I think
it's
I think
crazy.
this whole marriage thing, it's a long conversation. Like the fact that she got married at 46, some people could argue that her village people have untied her from the charm they used in time. I've,
I mean,
I've had conversations like that.
I totally,
Everything
for
is
just
about village people,
yeah, for
which is not
educational
true.
purpose, I totally agree that things like, for example, something that is trending now in social media is tie your eggs. Abi, what is it? Freeze your
Freeze
eggs.
your eggs.
If you're 30, freeze your eggs and everything. While that is true, because some things happen biologically to our system, the way the whole thing is going is because you have to give birth in you have to marry.
It's not by force. Like,
It is
who
not
says you
by force,
must?
guys.
Yeah.
And they're making people like scared of being 30 and whatever. The whole freeze your eggs is not about people that want, they're like, before your future, like, why? Why
And
do
the
you
worst, the
guys act
worst
this
problem, the
way?
worst problem is not that all these things are happening, but the reality of this issue is that a lot of people develop mental health problems because of this, but they pretend to be fine. I know a
Yes.
lot of women who are in pains, but they are not going to say it. But the things you see on social media every day, they are unconsciously compelling. They have a way of getting to you, even when you don't want them to get to you. And people are seriously talking about all these things. And
You know, the,
people,
you know
fall into
the funny
depression.
part. The funny part is I observe in my community sometimes when a man is not well grounded, has mental health issues. Instead of dealing with that, you will hear people saying we should find him a wife. Is
Like,
the
you
wife
marry
a
your
fucking
wife.
therapist? Like, why do
Uh,
you have to find
why
somebody
now,
who
Bondara?
YouTube is going to
i-
flag this.
Risking
is
that is risking a woman's life. So a woman
yes,
is the solution to
Most
a psychological
most
imbalance. It doesn't
popularly,
make
like
sense.
even people, not this does not happen in olden days. Like there's this content creator, Lord Zeus. He calls him Lord Zeus. He does so
yeah,
well. Not
yeah.
content creator, he's also a philanthropist. He met a man that is physically challenged and is not doing so much for himself, and he empowered the man, which is good. But the major empowerment that he felt was important for the man is to go and marry a wife for him.
Yeah.
The man
You,
did not think he
you,
needed a wife. The man did not think he needs a wife. It is him that is telling his followers that he thinks the man needs a wife. No, nwunye ya ga-eme.
even Kano state government would sometimes organize mass wedding for 100 people. Kano State has so many issues that you can use the money to address, and you are using the money to arrange marriage for people. I feel like the consequences of this is that, one, there is a lot of stigma to people who choose not to get married, or people who hasn't found the right person. And this stigma and even subtle discriminations, like you wouldn't be treated with respect in your community, pushes people into marrying the wrong people.
Wrong person,
like they would end up in abusive relationships. They'll end up in relationships.
As a woman, as I'm educated as I am, the pressure at some point gets to you. No matter how you want to be immune to it, you are in the society. If you decide that, oh, I'm not interested in this, oh, I just want to be on my own, you can't. You can't. You just be working and people will give you those things, and it's not easy to develop that skin that wields everything. So and the impact is numerous.
Research shows that marriage is more beneficial to men than women, because when they did this study and they found that married women, their mental well-being, their health, and everything deteriorates after getting married. But men,
their physical body too. Their physical body.
Yes, but
there's some women that give birth and they go blind. You give birth and you lose a limb. Like a lot of things. And nobody wants to talk about that.
And I know that someone somewhere, when they watch this video, they are going to say, yeah, this is just a way of trying to encourage yourself, trying to make yourself feel good. And it's I always like
myself feel good.
I always like to talk to
all of narrate day and about money. All of narrate day.
I always
make myself feel good.
I always want, the reason I'm more concerned about this is that, in our culture, in Nigeria, they will always say that a man can always get married anytime. But a woman, at a certain stage, you realize that you're running out of time. But I want to talk to people now directly. If you watch this video, you need a lot of things, because the things you say, the way you think, the things you post on your social media platforms, they have a way of affecting a lot of people. Stop making people feel bad because they are not married, because I keep on saying it. A lot of people who are married wish they never got married in the first place. And then you are there trying to make other people jump into something they should not be doing right now. This is the problem.
People who have bad marriages are encouraging others to rush and get married.
Exactly.
You should be thinking. They would even encourage you should not leave your marriage.
And then you see a lot of people. You see a lot of young girls who just after high school, they want to get married. No skill, nothing to sustain yourself in the marriage, and you completely depend on the man because you need to get married. It doesn't make sense.
Some people are saying that when something is good, when you cook a good food, human nature would not allow you. You want to eat that food alone. You want to savor it alone. If marriage is that good,
will hide it.
Why are we not going to rush inside? Why we not going to rush inside? Let's talk about way forward.
The way they are advising us to get married.
Let's talk about way forward.
Almost out of
if we
time.
Remain on this. There's a lot to explore. So what can we do, to curb this? To tell people that
I think it's important for us to start speaking about these things. That's one.
Exactly what we're
because
doing.
There are so many things that we don't talk about. We pretend like people should know these things, but we should be talking about it. People should have that freedom to choose what they want. And if it's not happening, don't force it. We should stop looking down on someone who is not married. We should stop. That mindset should start changing. We should focus on, this is part of the problem we are struggling in Nigeria, is that we focus on irrelevant things. We have a lot of problems that we should be encouraging people to solve. Let's stop focusing on certain things. That's
a personal, super personal stuff that you shouldn't even ask somebody about.
Exactly.
You should not pray for that for me. Don't pray for me to get married to I know how to pray that prayer. That's pressure. Pray for me to get money. Pray for me to
another solution is that
the ideal, right? If you want me to be happy, maybe I am happy without being married. So pray that I'm happy that way.
Even the Christian folks who, I'm a Christian, and people who propagate this marriage thing in the Christendom, I feel like to some extent they select the part of the Bible that they want to appeal at. Apostle Paul said it. Apostle Paul did not get married you know. And
Yeah.
he said, if you are willing and if you want, please do not. Like, it's a matter
Yeah.
of choice, and don't make it
Yeah.
look like it's God's calling for you to
Yeah.
get married
Jesus
or
was in
married
his
by force.
30s and he never
And
married.
he never married,
I
So
bro.
like
mean,
Bro.
so you're qualified to be
Timba
single.
wanted to say
And
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, what I was going to
Way
say is
forward,
just
guys.
briefly. And this one is if you're a young person and you're watching this video, please, I want you to do me a favor. Make sure that if you have older adults around, show this video to them, play this video to them, because they are the ones that propagate these
Help
things the
us.
most. When a young girl travels from Lagos to the village, for example, the first thing that the parents or the grandparents will ask is, when are you bringing a
Oh,
man?
kwenye gị na
It's
ya
so, it's
na-ekwu.
so annoying.
Kwenye gị na
And
ya
this is the
na-akpa.
way. Yeah, in the night, that young girl cannot but start thinking about this thing. Just like Fidel has said, no matter how you try to keep immune to
Yeah.
it, it will get at you at some point. So, older
Will.
adults, please, parents, do not pressurize. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
thank you
want
so
to say
much.
one last thing that I find
Community should
interesting.
stop marrying, giving women as doctors, psychiatric doctors, when we don't have
Yes.
that training to some men. Please.
I want to say something that I find interesting also in our society. Like when young people are young, they would tell you, stay away from men, stay away from men. They will get you pregnant. And then when you get older, they are saying, when are you
Where
bringing
is
a
your
man
man?
home?
Where is your
When
man?
I,
Oh my
you do
God,
not
I'm going
even,
to
they
get
didn't even teach you the skills to even communicate with the opposite
with
gender
men.
because they are telling you
Exactly.
to stay away.
Exactly.
So
That's a
Exactly.
very
Yeah, thank you so
interesting one.
much, guys, for
And
giving.
before we stop, just to remind you all, if you like what we do, click on subscribe, like,
Like,
and share our videos.
subscribe, guys.
Thank you.
Subscribe,
thank you.
share, comment. We want to hear your view. Should I get married regardless?
Why they look
Or
like
should I
You
I'm
need
just
to
just
get
chill?
married. You have to
What are
get
you
married,
doing?
Fidel. You need
I'm
to
a
get
Christian
married.
in process
Think?
of marriage.
You think I
Yes.
should?
Are
Okay.
you
My
advertising
concern is not
yourself?
that you're getting married to a man, but the alcohol I'm going to drink on your wedding. It's important for
You see,
Toshko, are
selfish
you
people.
advertising
Thank you,
yourself?
guys.
I'm
Thank you so
advertising
much.
myself for marriage.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See ya.
see you.